Joe Thornton officially retires from the NHL. We're gonna quick breaking news episode to kind of discuss Joe Thornton and his importance to the Sharks here on this nice Saturday afternoon.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to a special Saturday afternoon edition of Locked On Sharks, where we cover your team every day and anything surrounding, and nothing bigger, I think, right now than Joe Thornton retiring from the NHL. My name is JD Young, contributor at Inside the Rink, and I just wanted to spend 10-15 minutes talking about Joe Thornton and just how important he was to the Sharks and to me personally. And just what he means to San Jose, right? He is the greatest player in Sharks history. Yes, I know Patrick Marleau is Mr. Shark, and these two are forever linked, with being the first and second picks in the draft, and of course the trade that brought Joe Thornton to San Jose, and then their careers together kind of forever intertwined. How many, Thornton to Marleau scores. Like, how many times have you heard that in your life? But Joe Thornton is the greatest player in Sharks history. Patrick Marleau may be Mr. Shark. Patrick Marleau is my all-time favorite Shark player, but Joe Thornton is the best player in Sharks history. And yes, he hasn't played in the past couple seasons, and this was all basically but him coming out and saying, "I'm done. I'm hanging out my skates." But he brought the Sharks to another level. From the moment he arrived in San Jose, the Sharks were a cup contender for the next 15 seasons, basically, right? Yes, they got to a cup. Unfortunately, didn't win. Got to, Western Conference Finals. And we know the long and tortured history that the Sharks have of, so close, but never could quite get over the hump. And, I think Marleau and Thornton are kind of the guys who epitomize that history the most, of guys who could just so close, but never get over the hump. But Joe Thornton, though, he brought this franchise to a legitimate cup contending franchise. And Vlasic doesn't get a concussion and the Kings come back from 3 with a reverse sweep from 3-0, or this or that, and so many little things that happen where we talk about Joe Thornton as a cup winner, and he is a first ballot Hall of Fame. Like, there is no doubt, as soon as 5 years from now, Joe Thornton will be in the Hall of Fame, as he should be. He is the 7th all time in assists, and it's sad because, especially when you're following the team forever and watching Joe Thornton basically his entire career in San Jose. I became a Sharks fan right when Thornton came over. That was after I moved to the Bay Area in high school. If anybody knows, I was a Flyers fan growing up, moved to the Bay Area in high school, started getting to the Sharks, and after the lockout, that was kind of when I really started to get back into hockey. And watching Thornton and Marleau play together was something I'd never seen in my life. And I grew up as an Eric Lindros fan, watching Eric Lindros be just an absolute machine out there and just be bigger, stronger, and faster than everyone. But the way Thornton, who is bigger, stronger, and faster than most players, but the way he played the game and his joy and his love, and just Joe Thornton, I bet if he could, he would be out there. He could be playing until his like 75 if he wanted to. And you could totally see Joe Thornton on some beer league, on Tuesday night at 11 p.m. Out there with the guys just having fun, because that's just what he was, right? I mean, Jumbo Joe, just the epitome of joy on the ice. And how many careers Thornton affected while he was in San Jose, right? One, Patrick Marleau, right? And these two have a forever bond, and we know how the love between these two guys, right? We saw it at Patrick Marleau's ceremony for his jersey retirement, and we'll see it again when Joe Thornton gets his jersey retired. Here, I would assume it's probably going to be at some point this year because right, you can't wait long to put Joe Thornton's number in there, and I assume it's going to be a glorious ceremony, just like the Patrick Marleau one was. That was an amazing ceremony. But for me though, like I said, Joe Thornton, I've told the story before. I told the story, a million times. But my best friend and I, we go to a Sharks game. I've watched plenty of games, but my first hockey game, we go to a Sharks game and just absolutely fell in love with it. We go back and we both were like, let's get jerseys. I get the black stealth Patrick Marleau. He gets a Thornton one. Back in the day when you could go to you would go and you would order it before the game, and then they would bring it to you in intermission. I think the second period intermission. And just the joy that the two of us had putting on our jerseys for the first time, and then getting to watch Thornton and Marleau play together for the next 15 years after that. And there'll never be another Joe Thornton. Just like I said, with the careers he affected and the players that he made better, when he played with the players, he made them better, right? Jonathan Chichu, of course, with it waiting the Rocket Richard, guys like Kevin LeBanc or Sorensen or whoever Joe Thornton played with, they were better players on the ice because Thornton was there, and his ability to pass and find those guys in the right spot and put the puck right where it needs to be for these guys to be able to score. And it's absolutely insane just what Joe Thornton did, what he did, and what he means for the franchise. Winning the MVP, of course, in the 25-26 season. He's a 4-time All-Star. He's going straight to the Hall of Fame. And even in his final years, the 2017-2018, he's age 38. That's the year he tears his ACL, but in 47 games, he had 36 points. He comes back the next year at age 39, 73 points, 73 games played, 16 points, and 51 points. Sorry, 16 goals and 51 assists. I know, it's kind of weird watching him in Toronto and Florida, and I understand he's trying to win a cup. That was the last thing he was trying to do, and I will not hold that again. Do not hold him going to play for another franchise against him. But 92 assists in a season, 92 assists in a 26-27 season, franchise record that honestly is probably not going to get broken. If Erik Karlsson couldn't do it last year, nobody's breaking that record of 92 assists for the franchise. He's just one of a kind, and the hockey world just isn't going to be the same without him playing games. So seems like he said in his thing he'll be at the rink. He's already been basically, kind of in San Jose, and I'm sure they will give him some sort of title here soon in the coming days and such. But like I said, Joe Thornton, one of the greatest players, 101st best player ever to lace him up, and easily the greatest player to play for San Jose. And it'll be interesting to see what he does, if he can kind of maybe take a Marleau-esque approach of maybe not so much on the ice, but more of kind of a consultant and, kind of helping some of these guys, kind of get used to San Jose or whatever he does for them. But, it's just a good time to reminisce about all of our all-time favorites. And I would be remiss if I didn't bring up how close we were to the most perfect night of hockey. One of my all-time favorite Thornton memories is, of course, when he scored the hat trick against the Boston Bruins in that 18-19 season. And of course, we know about the famous 4-goal proclamation he had when Tomas Hertl was a rookie. And he was this close to getting his 4th goal. And the Boston Bruins took it away from us. But that night, just how much Twitter was a buzz and just the energy around the team. And, if Thornton had done that, like the nod that I'm sure he would have given us. But there's only one Joe Thornton. So we'll be back on Monday with a breakdown of the Sharks games against the Hurricanes and, of course, against the Washington Capitals. And we'll talk about some CUDA as well. So make sure you guys are following along wherever you get podcasts. And, of course, you can subscribe on YouTube as well. But until then, congratulations to Joe Thornton on one hell of a career. And I'm excited to see what he continues to do for the San Jose Sharks.